So I made this post on Facebook already, but I thought it would be valuable if I actually put it into a podcast to come back to if you needed to, remind yourself about it and so forth. So the post was pretty much on perception and reality because, everyone has their own perception of certain things. And it's their perception that they see to be their reality. So, for example, the way that Jan Doe perceives her life is actually her reality. She's looking at, interactions, her environment, other people, approaching things from her perspective, and perspectives are not only just shaped there and then. They're, how can I say it? They're developed and enhanced and altered and audited and changed and reinforced over pretty much your lifetime through your different interactions, how you were brought up, your background, and all of that stuff. So someone's perception of life is their reality. Your perception of life is your reality. They might not match up, but what someone values is not always what you're going to value. So to dismiss someone else or to put them down or to judge them for what they value and how they perceive life is wrong. And if everyone understood that, it would be so much easier. But what you need to realize is that you can always change your perception. Because where does it manifest from? It manifests from your mind. And your heart, your desires, they determine what your mind decides to focus on pretty much. You have control over how you perceive certain things, and if you're just going to be negative about things or not have any faith in yourself, or identity is a big one. I keep having the same conversation with one of the girls in the group. They hold themselves up to the identity that they always fail. So they're always going to fail. They can't succeed because, hey, they always fail. And it just breaks my heart. But at the same time, you need to realize that didn't just, manifest out of nowhere. It developed over time from the sake of them always making the wrong choices, not knowing any better, blah, blah, blah. Which is why I say you need to forgive yourself for not knowing better before. Learn from it and move on. Because, having guilt over the past isn't going to serve you now, and it isn't going to serve you in the future. But at the same time, being anxious about the future and worrying, are you ever going to succeed? That's getting you nowhere right now, because you're living in the future. You're not living in the moment now. It's your actions right now that are going to take you to the next level. So I'm going to see if I can actually open her conversation, but I need to scroll up. So I'm just going to quickly finish what I was saying about my post first, because you need to take time to just be with yourself, to think, because thinking time is so critical. It is when you actually reflect on the goods and the bads. And this certain girl was also always saying sorry, not sorry, and then grabbing something that wasn't on plan, or grabbing something that can easily just throw them off, and then reveling in it oh, okay, now the binge starts. But one thing that you haven't just realized is your attitude to that. Sorry, not sorry. And it's you need to check your language and the way that you speak to yourself and reason with yourself. Because that is something you have control over. You need to be able to audit your life, prioritize yourself, invest in yourself, in your own thinking, and audit your life, audit your thoughts, because thoughts are so valuable. And it's not about aiming for perfect every single day, because if you've been doing this for so many years, it's gonna be hard to just break. So you need to just work on being 1% better every single day and realize your thought process around the moments where you start to lose some control over yourself, if that makes sense. So believe in what you want so much that it has no choice but to materialize. But if you believe in your false perception of your identity, where it's, I'm always failing, I'm going to just guilt myself, they're not positive emotions. Positive emotions is getting excited. Like, for example, I'm going to use my dog for example. Whenever he does bad things, I don't punish him. I just reward him for the good things. So, continuing to award yourself for doing the good stuff is going to keep positive reinforcement of doing that stuff. But don't go rewarding yourself with food. Just, like, sit in the moment, pat yourself on the back and celebrate the mini wins. I cannot go on more about celebrating the mini wins. Well, I want to leave that there and just say you really got to trust the seeds that you're planting will manifest. Because if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect the universe to? How do you expect things to materialize? You need to believe in what you want so much that it has no choice but to materialize. Trust the seeds that you're planting. Trust the journey you're on. Trust the process. Faith, trust, ruby dust. That's what I always say to my girls. So, I hope that helps. If it does, share this episode. If you're one of my clients, share it to the group if it actually helped you, because I want the rest of the group to hear it as well. And anyone else, just share it along if it does help, because I just ramble the way that Ruby rambles. So, mwah.